Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are going to have a very fun conversation about Mother Teresa. Now, we may talk to the lead team collective to answer your questions, or we might talk to Mother Teresa herself. So we'll see. So I've got the dowsing rods here. I've got a little introduction just so we can all get on the same page about who Mother Teresa was. All right. And then we have how many questions? We've got 27 questions from the community. So if you're not aware, I do put posts out a couple a week asking for your questions on different topics. So if you are subscribed and have your notifications on, you will be alerted when those posts go out. Okay? All right, let's get started. So Mother Teresa was born in 1910 into a Catholic family. By the age of 12, she felt a strong inner calling towards religious life. Age of 12. That's amazing. At 18, she left her family to join a religious order and took a new religious name. So she wasn't born Mother Teresa. She wasn't born Teresa either, but could you imagine if she was born Mother Teresa? That would be very funny. So she took her religious name at age 18. In her early adult years, she worked as a teacher and lived a very disciplined, faithful life. Everything changed in 1946. So if you can think about what was going on in 1946 in the world, when she experienced what she later described as a deeper calling. So this is her personally, but it's kind of interesting to think about what she had just lived through, in terms of no matter where she lived, what she just lived through in terms of World War II. And it actually was just about ending. So she described it as a deeper calling, one that asked her to leave teaching and serve people living in extreme poverty. So that's really interesting. I wonder, we'll have to ask her, but I wonder if that was that part of the experience that she saw during World War II. She went on to start a new religious mission focused on helping the poorest and most forgotten people. This work grew quickly and spread around the world. Over time, she became widely known for her dedication to service, humility, and care for the suffering. Although the public saw her as deeply faithful and joyful, her private writings later revealed something very different. For about 50 years, she felt a painful distance from God and a deep inner silence. Wow. She continued her work anyway, choosing service even when she did not feel spiritual comfort. She passed away in 1998. Years later, she was officially recognized as a saint for her lifelong commitment to serving others. A few interesting facts. When she received a major international peace award, she asked that the celebration be canceled so the money could be used to feed people in need. How awesome is that? Another interesting fact, she wanted her private letters destroyed because she worried they would distract from her work. They later showed that she kept serving even while feeling spiritually alone. So she wasn't feeling like the nudges, right? I'm always saying follow your inspiration. I guess if she followed her inspiration, then maybe she wouldn't have continued doing what she was doing. But she had to have been following her inspiration. It's, obviously she wouldn't have done it, but maybe she expected something different than what she was getting. Well, we'll have to find out. Okay, she shared a close humanitarian bond with a well-known public figure who also devoted much of her life to helping others. They met shortly before both passed away in 1997. Well, who was that? I don't know who that was. And then even after being named a saint, people continued to debate her legacy. Of course they did, especially around medical care practices and her strict religious beliefs. So I'm just going to pause real quick and see if I can find out who that who she had that humanitarian bond with. Maybe it is not public. Of course, I should have known better. Can anybody guess without looking? Anyone guess who it was? It was Princess Diana. How perfect is that? And what's interesting is they both passed away in 1997. Okay, so I've got, I'll say our little prayer, and we'll see if we're going to talk to the lead team or if we're going to talk to Mother Teresa herself. All right. I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the lead team collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Okay, lead team, hello, good morning. It's morning for me anyways. You'll be watching this in the evening. How's it going today? As always, I just always have to show a little appreciation, but as always, thank you for all your guidance and support of each of us individually as well as collectively. It's really appreciated. So we are wondering, do you want to answer the questions about Mother Teresa? No. Do you want us to call in Mother Teresa? Yay! Okay. Well, let's go ahead and bring her on in. Mother Teresa, is this you? Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. What an honor. What an absolute honor to have you here. Okay, so Mother Teresa, we've got a bunch of questions for you. Do you have any concerns or reservations about answering the questions in front of me? No? Okay. Well, I'm really curious to know up front. Well, first of all, can you see what I just read about your life? Is that biography and the interesting facts, are they accurate? Yes. Okay. So you and Princess Diana both passed away in 1997. Yes. And was that a coincidence? We kind of know the answer to that, probably. No. Okay. So it was, did you guys have it both as part of your life plan to go out the same year? Yes, but were the year that you were going to transition, was that individually just a part of each of your life plans? No. Okay, so it was a coordinated life plan date for the two of you. Yes. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Did your specific mission to serve the poor originate from a direct divine message with Jesus? Yes. Was it a message you actually verbally heard? No. Was it a message you were just inspired and you thought it was from Jesus? Yes. Okay. Would you consider yourself did you have psychic abilities when you were Mother Teresa? No. Is that why you felt like you didn't have any, like you just weren't sure if they were speaking with you? Yes. Okay. But you sure kept the faith. That's incredible that you kept the faith for 50 years, not thinking that you felt like you were alone. Yes. Okay. Wow. Was living in extreme poverty necessary for you to be seen as an equal by those you served? Yes. Yes. It's incredible. So was it a previous lifetime that nudged you to do the work you did in this lifetime? Yes. Is that why you knew exactly what you wanted to do at age 12 and 18, which is pretty uncommon? Yes. Okay. So you were your life plan was very clear, let's just say. Yes. Are most of our life plans that clear as yours was as Mother Teresa? No. So Okay. Can you look at people in this community, please? And would you say that the majority of us have really specific life plans? No. Okay. So we've got life plans that are a little bit more open, broad, flexible, let's say. Yes. So how many of you feel that? I definitely do. I mean, I can see my overall arching, but it wasn't like as, I guess, as focused as Mother Teresa's was, right? Okay. And, and I can switch and switch and switch and switch. But I think the underlining focus for me is probably always the same. But is there any objective truth to the negative reports intended to sully your reputation? Who speaks like that, Marcia? That's funny. So sorry. It probably is one of your guys' questions, and I'm just like, I don't speak like that. I shouldn't. That's cute. Somebody is very educated here in our community. Yes. I just got a little shy because I was like, is this an AI generated question? And, I'm careful about how to keep things as simple as possible when I describe them. So, is there any objective truth? We must have a lawyer in our community to the negative reports intended to sully your reputation. She says, yes, there is. So there is some objective truth to the reports. Well, how am I going to unfold what those might be? Huh. All right, I might have to ask Mabel to tell me what some of those negative reports are so we can find out which one she's talking about. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, there's 4 areas of people who've been critical about medical care in her homes. So we'll explore that a little bit. Her view on suffering, acceptance of donations from controversial figures, and management and transparency. Okay, so let's find out because she said there is some truth to it. So let's find out. Maybe she wasn't she was human, right? So, and maybe she justified certain things because the ends were better, the end result would have been more effective for people. We'll find out. Okay, so Mother Teresa, some critics have said, or claim the medical care that you gave out was basic or outdated. Is that true? No. Some critics say pain relief was limited in some facilities, even when available elsewhere. Is that true? No, it is not. So when you said there was some objective truth to the critics, was this one of them, the medical care in your homes? Was there some truth to that? No. Okay. So not that one. Okay, so some critics believed that let's see, what critics say? She believes suffering had spiritual meaning. So some critics say that you believed suffering had spiritual meaning. Is that true? Okay, so maybe it's this area. Is this the area that you say there's some objective truth to negative critics? Yes. Okay. What about the other 2 areas? No. Okay. So some felt that this belief influenced your care decisions. Oh, it did. Okay. Did it influence your care decisions in a way that harmed people? No. Okay. All right. So some people felt it did harm people. You felt suffering was a part of spirituality or a part of the purpose of being here. Yes. But looking now at your life, did people unnecessarily suffer based on your medical care because of your beliefs about suffering? No. Okay, cool. Let's see. So was there any truth to you accepting donations from controversial figures? Yes. Okay. Um, oh, so you accepted donations from people later accused of corruption and abuse? Yes. Did you know that though? Were you accepting donations knowing that they were corrupt and abusive people? No. Okay. Okay. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Well, were these people wanting anything from you that was nefarious? No. Was it just like a tax write-off for them? Yes. Okay. And what about management and transparency? Were you doing anything corrupt or abusive with the money that you were receiving? No. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Mother Teresa, were you able to see or speak with spirits while you were still in your physical body? So that gets a little bit to the psychic ability. No, she was not. Was your level of consciousness truly at 710 enlightenment while you were alive? Oh, wow. Yes, I never heard of that, at truly at 710. That's a new concept for me. Okay. Yes, she says. When you took your vows in 1931, did you choose the name Teresa specifically to align your soul's path with the little way of Saint Teresa? Yes. She says yes. Little Way of Saint Teresa was the patron saint of missionaries, famous for her little way, the spiritual path of doing small, everyday things with extraordinary love. Oh, I love that. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm going to put that in my journal. I love that. Wouldn't life just be easier, you guys, if we just focused on small, everyday things with extraordinary love? I mean, for reals, right? Cool. Okay, based on your letters, it appears your life from 1948 to 1997 was a period of disconnection from the divine, a dark night of the soul. Is that accurate? Yes. Now that you can see all that is, would you say it was still accurate? No. Were you really being divinely guided without you recognizing that you were? Yes. Would you say the same is true for all of us, that we are all divinely guided, whether we truly know it or not? Yes. Okay. In 1948, did the vivid spiritual visions you experienced 2 years prior suddenly turn into a profound and lasting silence? Wow. Yes. Some of you guys really know Mother Teresa. I really don't know much, so this is why it's fun for me. Okay, did the vivid spiritual visions you experienced 2 years prior, so in 1946, so you had these visions. Is that why you were kind of hoping that you were going to continue with these visions? Yes. Is that why you felt like you weren't being divinely guided? Oh, that makes sense to me. So you had some really strong guidance, and then you probably were doing what you were expecting to do as your higher self was expecting, and they didn't need to guide you anymore. She's like, yes. Okay. So that's why that makes sense to me, you guys, that she would, have these like really powerful experience and then all of a sudden not have it, you know? Yes, she's saying. Okay. Do you recall a short period of approximately 5 weeks in 1958 where the darkness lifted, providing you a brief window of spiritual light? Wow. Yes, only 5 weeks? Bummer. Bummer. Yes. Do you think that, did you start to focus too much on not having this direct contact and then that influenced your direct conflict. You're not okay. Blah, 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 blah. Then that ended up influencing you not having direct contact. Yes. So it was kind of like a manifesting thing. Like, yes, did you feel a little obsessed about it? Yes. Okay. And so the energy around it got difficult for you. Would you say that that was lower vibration energy? So she said yes to the first one and yes to this. Okay. Was it around 1961 that you finally accepted this inner silence, not as a personal failure, but as a way to share in the spiritual thirst of the world? Wow, did she write that or something? She says yes. Okay, interesting. All right. Question number 12. Did you remain in that state of spiritual dryness up until the very moment of your transition in 1997? Yes. When you transitioned, were you like relieved to know, like, hey, they were here all along? You did? Okay, that's cool. All right. Were you able to serve the poor not out of a feeling of God's presence, but out of pure disciplined will? Yes. And it stemmed back from those first two visions. Yes. And I think just your life plan, right? This was all in your life plan to do this. So you almost didn't even need, okay, well, you didn't need the visions to be able to do this. No. And so she didn't need the visions. Oh, what was I going to say? I had a thought. Well, I can't remember. It's gone. Okay. Were you able to serve? Okay, we did that one. Did you hold a deep spiritual respect for the life and work of Princess Diana? Yes. Was the reality of the afterlife significantly different from what the church taught you? Oh, yes. Did you suspect that at all based on those visions you had? Did you suspect it would be different? No. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think what I was going to say earlier is like, well, I mean, she had a calling at age 12, you know? So you had a calling at age 12. Did you end up just relying on that through that sort of period where you felt nobody was communicating with you? Did you just rely on that calling? It's like you couldn't really do anything else, right? Yes. Okay. Did you become an ascended master immediately following your life as Mother Teresa? No. Great questions, you guys. Is your higher self on track to becoming an ascended master at some point? Ah, yes. Is that something you're working towards? Yes. Is your higher self having more experiences on Earth right now? Yes. And are they experiences that are helping your higher self ascend to becoming an ascended master? Yes. Okay. Oh, my feet are falling asleep. They've been falling asleep lately. The one I'm sitting here on sitting with my legs crossed. I sit on a bolster, like a yoga bolster. For some reason, my feet have been falling asleep, so I got to keep them out. Yesterday, I was doing in the reset for the Spirit Circle, I do every Monday, and I was doing the clearing, and my feet were falling asleep, and I was like, during the clearing, people are relaxed and chilled, and I don't want to, and the rods are, they're moving very slowly in as they clear, and I'm like, oh my God, my feet falling asleep. And I didn't want to disrupt it, so I sat there for 5 minutes with my feet asleep. Yeah. You know how it tingles and stuff? Just uncomfortable, right? So, Mother Teresa, sorry about that little. Yep. Yes, she says. Okay. Is your higher self currently incarnated to assist the world during this great shift? Yes. Great. Thank you. Is the human collective currently struggling to stay on a path of kindness and compassion? Oh, good. No. Does it seem, does it only seem that way because of bots and paid, aggressors, that sort of thing? Yes. Okay. So keep that in mind, you guys, for sure. I almost see when I see comments nowadays, I actually just prefer to be like bot. If it's anything against like totally rude, like what somebody had said, I mentioned this the other day, but somebody had said, Freddie deserved it or whatever, and I was like, bot. I'm like, I'm not going to believe that I'm just not going to believe it. Yes, I'm sure there are people who would say that, but I'm not going to believe it. Like, it doesn't help me to believe that people could be so cruel, right? So would you say, Mother Teresa, like, okay, well, was that comment I saw, was that from a human being? No, it was not. Okay, so it was a bot? Yep. Okay. See, they're just trying to keep us divided, you guys. We're not going to let it happen anymore. So anytime you see anybody disagreeing on social media, like just stupidly rude, think of like yourself and be like, that doesn't, I mean, it's just making, like, don't argue with them. Just write bot. In fact, we should just do that for any of those comments. And even if they're a real person, they'll be like, oh, is my behavior like bot behavior? You know what I mean? That's a good idea, actually. Okay, 1 point for me. Good idea. Okay, so she did say the human collective is not struggling to stay on a path of kindness. Yay! It just feels bigger, right? Because they're the people who are in charge. So the people in charge, in quotes, are the people in power positions right now. Are they struggling to stay on a path of kindness and compassion? Yes. Yes, they are. Well, is there ever going to be a time in my lifetime where leadership in general around the world will be more kind and compassionate? Yes. Yes. Will there always be in my lifetime some dictator wannabe in power, though? Actually in power? No. Oh, I must be living a long life then. Well, I suppose I could live another 50 years. I have a friend whose grandmother's 107, so I could live another 50 years. And, by 2050, we'll be into the golden future, so maybe it's then. Is that when we're looking at it? Yes. Okay. Well, that's good. All right. Will humanity eventually achieve a world defined by lasting peace and mutual respect? Yay. Is that a 3D reality? No. Okay. So the 3D reality, the experiment of 3D has failed. No. Okay. So the reality of 3D is yin and yang, right? Opposites. That's just the reality of it. Yes. So should we basically start accepting that that's the reality of a 3D experience? Yes, not in a way, I'm not saying to accept in a way that you don't take, whatever action you're called to take, but I think we have to stop beating our heads against the wall that this is 3D reality is 3D. That's what it's there for. Yes, she's saying. Okay, so we're only going to see these things obviously when we shift to 4D and 5D. Yes. Okay. And remember, you can be born, you could decide to go to other galaxies at some point. Your higher self's probably there now. She's saying yes. So you have chosen to be in this duality, this, this type of environment. So we just have to make the best of it, right? She's saying yes. All right. Do you believe the Catholic Church is still primarily focused on doing good for the world? Oh, no. No, allegedly and entertainment purposes only. Is that true for most of the Catholic Church? Yes. Do those who want to do good, who join the Catholic Church, do most people join to want to do good? Yes. But is there too much politics? Yes. Okay. So it's a political issue, basically. It's money and politics again. It's a power thing, money and politics. Yes. Is there blackmail, allegedly in entertainment purposes only? I'm starting to learn that that is the way of the world in these power grabs. It's blackmail. Yes. Okay. So then they can't speak up, because they've been blackmailed one way or another. And it could have been like they didn't even know they were doing something because maybe they were MK Ultra or something. Yes. Okay. Did you see the corruption in the Catholic Church firsthand? Yes. Is that why you stopped? Is that why you made a pivot and just worked with the poor? Oh, yes. Okay. That's interesting. So your pivot was based on your experience with power and money and corruption. Yes. Is that why you didn't feel that you were being were you angry because of that? Oh, yes. Okay. So you were angry. So you didn't feel the Catholic Church was being divinely guided. Yes. So did it have more to do with that than it did for you to be? So were you more angry about that than you were about you feeling like you weren't divinely guided? Yes. Oh, all right. I think I just cracked the code. One of them, anyways. Could be. Could be. Okay. Is the church continuing to protect individuals who have caused harm to others? Yes. Yes. Is that because the people who have caused harm to others are high up in the organization? Yes. And again, it does it all have to do with blackmail? All of it? Yes. Okay. Will the institutional Catholic Church survive for another 100 years? No. No. And does that have to do with the five? Well, will it survive another 100 years in the 3D environment? No. Okay. Okay. Will it survive? Will it be carried over into 4D, 5D? No. Will any organized religious institutions remain after humanity transitions into 5D? No. But will they remain in the 3D experience for people who still want to be in the 3D? Yes. Does every small act of love create a tenfold positive change in the world? Yes. That's awesome. What you put out there, right? What you put out there. Amazing. So just wave to people today, give somebody a smile, be extra kind to someone who might be grumpy today. I can tend to be like, you're grumpy, don't be grumpy at me. But recognizing there's, something's going on, right? And just try to be at least, maybe not confrontive or, just, try to be more gentle, right? Can a simple smile truly change the course of someone's bad decisions? Wow, yes. Yes, really wide swing too. Are you able to send energy through the rods to calibrate us towards a higher version of love? Yes. Oh, all right. Well, why don't we spend a minute here, you guys? I'm going to have Mother Teresa give us a big hug, okay? And so Mother Teresa, last question for you. I am wondering, would you like to have a pendulum conversation with me next? Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so Mother Teresa, since you are able to send us energy through the rods to recalibrate us towards a higher version of love, would you please do that now? All right. Do you want to give it to us in form of a hug at the end here? Yes. Or do you want to do an energy clearing, like a Reiki session? No. Okay. All right. So we'll just go ahead. Would it be enough for us to hold the hug for 1 minute? Yes. Do you want us to hold it longer? No. Okay. Well, let's go ahead, you guys. All right. Take a deep breath and just relax as she sends that higher vibrational energy that will send us more love in ourselves, and we can vibrate it out to the world. Okay, isn't that amazing? So, if you want a hug every week in the reset, if you join just the first layer or the first level, I guess, the path of the spirit circle, you would get the reset every Monday, and the lead team gives us hugs at the end, just like that. So, pretty amazing after they do a clearing for us. So, okay, Mother Teresa, thank you so much. Look at her pulsing, like just hug, 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 squeeze, squeeze. Pretty cool. All right, Mother Teresa, I will see you next when I pull out the pendulum, and I will see you guys tomorrow with the pendulum conversation that her and I have. Okay? All right, take care, and we will see you in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.